With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhelpt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Friday, Huskers fans. Scott Frost met with the media this morning as Husker football continues through fall camp. Frost discussed the new offensive scheme the Huskers are installing for the upcoming season.
It's going well. We are Whip's in control. He's running it. I think it was important that the kids become familiar with all the stuff that he wants to do. There's elements of it that we've done. I think we'll add wrinkles and things that we've done. But trying to get overly involved every day probably wasn't the right strategy. So I'll help, and I think we'll end up with a good blend. But to this point, it's been fun to watch his offense kind of evolve and bloom. And the assistant coaches and offense are doing a great job too. So it's been fun to be able to sit back and have a little more of a mile-high view of it all.
We'll hear more from Coach Frost later in the hour. Nebraska Track and Field named their new head coach a day after Gary Pepin retired. And it is Justin Sinclair, promoted to the role of interim head coach prior to his arrival at Nebraska last season. Coach Sinclair spent 10 years at North Dakota State University, winning the National Assistant Coach of the Year award for men's indoor track and field in 2019. In his first year with Nebraska last season, Sinclair coached 10 NCAA qualifiers, including a pair of NCAA medalists, including his 10th USTF CCCA Midwest Regional Assistant Coach of the Year award, dating back to 2016. The Huskers throwers set 4 school records and 13 top 10 marks in program history under St. Clair last year. And then we look over to pro sports tonight in Major League Baseball, as there's a lot of games already final today. The Rays beat the Blue Jays 3-2. The Phillies took down the Braves 3-1. The Guardians beat the Diamondbacks 7-4. The Twins beat the Tigers 4-1. The Orioles took down the Rangers 6-3. The Astros bested the Red Sox 6-1. 4-1, the White Sox beat the Royals, and 9-5, the Nationals took down the Mets took down the Nationals. Currently in action, we have a couple of games going on. Actually, there's a delay right now. Pirates and Orioles in the top of the first. Couple of games that will get started in a few moments. It's the Braves and the Mets. Excuse me, I read the wrong score for them earlier. 6:10 will be the Astros and Guardians. And then we'll see at 7:05 the White Sox take on the Rangers. The Red Sox meet the Royals at 7:10. Reds meet the Brewers at 7:10 as well. Blue Jays will take on the Twins at 7:10. At 7:15 the Yankees will meet the Cardinals. Rockies battle the Diamondbacks again at 8:40. 9:10 the Angels take on the Mariners, and the Padres meet the Dodgers out west at 9:10 p.m. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhelpt, and Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing the outside 40 to the 50-yard line, to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant, with an electrifying move to the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, we made it. You all made it. TGIF, right? Everybody else probably into their weekend. We will be soon shortly. Looking forward to another hot time in one of our last free weekends. There's 2 free weekends before Husker sports get cranked up. And actually, you could say there's not this weekend because Husker soccer has an exhibition match Sunday up in Omaha against the Mavericks. But that's one of those ones that doesn't count. But So actually, we do have a little Husker event coming up here this weekend. We're getting so close to it. Heard from the head coach today. Tim had a clip for you in the ticker. We'll go through a full batch of that. He was actually pretty talkative today. Went through a wide variety of topics about the offense, the offensive line. O'Shawn Mathis, you got a question about that, so we'll dive into that here in a little bit. They do have a scrimmage tomorrow. That's usually kind of a separator. After that, they'll probably really kind of start to lock in the depth chart.
3 weeks from tomorrow. That is crazy. Yeah, I know it's a big day always in fall camp when you get to that first scrimmage. They've been, doing team and game-like situations and going ones-on-ones, but it's pretty situational, and it's not a full-on scrimmage going through everything that goes into a game-like feel. And so they'll get a better sense of how some guys are performing tomorrow, and let's just keep staying healthy. That's
the key, and that's what you don't want to have happen after a scrimmage is the coach coming up and go, oh, so-and-so got. You don't want that. Hopefully we don't hear any report. We will have a practice report for you on Monday, and it will be Eric Chenander. So the next time we hear from the coaches will be on Monday. But first big scrimmage tomorrow. I think a lot of the former players are coming back. They invite all of them to come back and go attend the scrimmage, and so there'll be a bunch of former Huskers that'll be around the stadium tomorrow. A former Husker scored the first touchdown in the NFL this year. Zamir Abdullah scored last night in the Raiders game. He found the end zone for the first time for anybody in the NFL. Did you watch? I didn't watch a lot of it.
I didn't. So I'm in the process of switching my cable. And
are you cutting the cord?
I am. I'm going to try out the streaming thing.
What are you going to go? Hulu?
I think I'm going to go YouTube. YouTube TV, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll be able to let you know. But I'm transferring it all over, so I didn't have live TV when I got back down.
Yeah. Most people are doing that now.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you still have cable, it's like you still have a house phone. Which those are kind of dying breeds now.
Yeah.
You walk by, if you can find it, if you walk by a payphone and point it out, a lot of kids are going to go, what is that?
I do. Are there any payphones still anywhere?
Got to be someplace, right? But not very many.
I mean, I think even like in New York City, they're all pretty much gone.
Pretty much gone. Pulled them out.
Yeah.
I made it official today when I got my Phil Steele, so this weekend I'm going to do a deep dive into Phil's encyclopedia here.
That's like Christmas morning for you.
It is. It's so exciting. And because I anticipate not having much information on Northwestern, I'm going to really have to rely on this, and it will be outdated too, but it'll be more updated than anything else I can find to try to put together some information on Northwestern. But he actually is pretty optimistic about the Huskers.
I think a lot of people are. I mean, we saw some of the Big Ten crew texting or tweeting about what they saw and saying that talent-wise, there's not going to be a lot of teams that out-talent Nebraska this year. And so you got to go put it all together, and you got to finish, and you got to figure out ways to win those games. But as far as just being outmatched on a talent perspective, that should not be an issue for Nebraska. But they were noticing that, and I think there might be some people sleeping just on what's been done the last couple of years, but for those that really dive into what talent has been brought in and the coaches that have been brought in and the way it all comes together, if it all comes together, yeah, I mean, I think there's reason to believe that this could, be a team that does some special things.
Phil's final synopsis: all 9 sets of my power ratings call for a winning season, and they could be playing with confidence when they hit the rough November schedule that features Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Iowa to close out the year. The Huskers are a Big Ten West title contender. That's his final synopsis of Nebraska.
Yeah, and you think about it, and my dad actually was talking to him the other day, and he was asking me about the team, and he was like, man, if just 1 or 2 of those close games at the beginning of the season go the other way, you never know how the rest of the season goes. So the fact that maybe you can put some wins together in the beginning of the season and you find those ways to win, and then that's contagious, and then you get a snowball going, and then you do have that confidence going into that tough stretch at the end of the year. Sure
does. It's that getting off to that fast start. We've said it over and over for the last 6 months, and we will do it over and over for the next 3 weeks. The first game, the one in Ireland, is such a big game for this team and this season moving forward. I think a big part of what a lot of people maybe don't have a good picture of if you're not here on the ground is special teams. It's been awful. We know it's been awful. And so most people just assume if you go grab these magazines or talk to somebody who doesn't cover Nebraska on a daily basis, well, their special teams are awful. Well, that was last year, and I think when we heard from Bill Bush yesterday, I think there's a pretty good feeling it's going to be markedly better this year.
Absolutely, and I just think even just a couple conversations I've had with Timmy Bleekrode and the even kill, but yet a confidence about him. You know, he's not cocky, but it's definitely not. He doesn't get too high, not too low, and again, that's just a 2 or 3 conversations, but he's just really chill, you know, and that's a big part of being able to go handle it. And I even asked him about, have you thought about how you're going to prepare for bigger crowds, louder atmospheres, maybe a little bit more pressure? And he's like, you know, that's just kind of what goes into it. You clock all that out. Like, it doesn't matter to me what kind of crowd I'm playing in front of. And you know, I think just having that mindset of what Bill Bush said. I mean, if you kick, you kick. It's the same thing,
right.
And you just have to block everything else out. And I think Timmy's got a good grasp on that. And so just that alone, I think having a kicker that you're confident in, because that changes a lot of things too on how you approach going to score at certain points. If you are guaranteed 3, maybe you change a little bit, and that momentum, confidence, all of that. A solid kicker that you can rely on is absolutely a massive weapon.
Something, Jessica, I think that will really help Timmy is I don't think it'll be very intimidating in Ireland. I think, you know, it may be.
And he's played there.
And he's played there.
Yep.
He's been in that stadium. So him to walk out, he goes, oh, yeah, I've been here before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to be half full, maybe a little over half full. So it's not going to be, he's not going to go, wow. And then the next 4 are here. And yes, there's a lot of people, but they're all rooting for you. So once you kick here in that North Dakota game, I think then it'll just become second nature for him.
Yeah, and I think once and we've talked so much about this, but the returners that you have back there, that's what they've done, that's what they are confident in doing, and they love making those, ripping off those big plays. I think that will be contagious too. Once an entire special teams unit sees what a big run, a big return can do, and how that hypes up a sideline and flips a field, and it will be contagious, I think. So it's just a matter of getting a few things going and getting the ball rolling in the beginning, and then I think it could snowball from there.
That's the other part of it. Yes, we love the kickers and Timmy and Brian Buschini, but the fact that Trey Palmer and Anthony Grant might be able to bust a big one. I think that, you're right, that's what it just gets a team exploding with energy and excitement, and we haven't had any of that for the last couple
years. And once you get a feel and you see it, then it's like, oh, let's go do that again.
Correct.
But, I mean, and Brian Buschini will be the first one to tell you, hopefully he's not out on the field much, you know? So, yes, it's also good to have a punter that can flip the field in certain situations, but you also hope, too, you don't have to use him that much.
Right, exactly. You hope that your offense is ending most drives either in the end zone or with a Timmy Bleekrode kick for the uprights for 3 points. So, yeah, hopefully not. And you don't want to turn. Football people have said for years, if every drive ends in a kick, you probably have had a pretty good day. Now, some of those kicks may be punts, but the other ones could be PATs and field goals. You've probably had a pretty good day. So. All right, here's what we have on the program tonight. The head coach did meet with the media today. We're going to go through some of the clips that he had, some of the highlights. He did talk about the quarterback race, so we'll dive into that here in just a little bit. Hour number 2, Gabe Irvin, who's coming back, and I think would tell you he is back from his knee injury that he suffered in Norman last year in Game 4 of the season. He will talk to Jessica, caught up with him after practice yesterday, and then Justin Sinclair, who was named today as the interim track and field head coach, a highly, highly decorated throwers coach, thought to be one of the best throwers coaches in the world, not just in the United States, but in the world. He's going to take over at least as the interim track and field coach for the Huskers after the announcement yesterday of the retirement from Gary Pepin after 42 years. We'll talk to Justin coming up in hour number 2. And winners and losers. The guys are excited. They've got their winners and losers already picked out, ready to drop them on us here at the end of the program.
They already have them picked out?
That's what they tell me.
That's overachieving right there.
Oh, somebody didn't do their homework over there. All right, so that, and we want you to be a part of the program as well. Those phone lines, text lines, always open for you, 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We're back to hear a practice report with the head coach comments coming up next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here. It is a Friday night here on Sports 90. Time for us now to get into a GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. The head coach talked today. First time we've heard from him since camp opened. First time he's addressed the media. And guess what? He had an opening statement.
Oh, let's go.
Let's listen to it.
Did that blow up everything?
Hello, everyone. We're 8 days into practice. Seeing a lot of really good things out there. We still have a lot of work to do. What I really like is being around this team. This is a great group of guys. I think the best leadership we've had, the best overall attitude we've had. Today kind of highlighted it to me because we have scrimmage tomorrow. The kids all know it. And sometimes the practice right before that isn't always the best. Didn't have to coach effort or intensity or desire at all today. This is a hungry team, and seeing a lot of really good things. So it's been a fun few days. We got a schedule where the kids are trying to keep the kids as fresh as we can keep them, and I think they've responded to that. So we just got to go upward and onward from here.
That last little clip, Jessica, I want to ask you about, because you mentioned it last night, that they've kind of attacked this 30-day period a little differently this year, how they've stacked practices, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 days on, then a day off, and I don't think I've ever been around a team that had that type of schedule, but it seems to be working for them, and you always hear about guys getting so tired and sore, and, you know, you get a day of rest, and then you get your legs underneath you, you refuel, you rehydrate, and then you get back to it, but I don't know what went into that decision. If there was somebody, one of the new coaches maybe had that schedule before, they had talked about it and it worked for them before, but I think it's working for this team this year, and the players seem to really like it too.
And I don't know, maybe there was a little influence from NAPL because they study those type of things about the best way to get long-term results out of your athletes. So that may have come from upstairs. I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try to ask questions and see about that, because I know that, you know, football teams that I've been around in the past at the camp, it's either like, you know, 5 days, 6 days, and then just 1 day. And then you get to the last couple of weeks, and then you get, you know, maybe 2 days off in a row. But it's never 3 days on and 1 day off. So it's interesting. But, yeah, I think, as Coach just said, you keep them fresh. And they're still, I think, doing other things on their own. I know they have to have a mandatory day off. I don't know when that starts. But, you know, even last night I saw guys walking out, and they were having meetings and all of that. So, I mean, they're getting the work done. Absolutely. It's just as far as the hard stuff, it's a little bit different, I guess, schedule.
Next thing he was asked about is what's he seeing as far as leadership with this group, and here's his response.
Our leaders right now are the tough, hard-working guys, and that's what you want. The guys that are working the hardest are the best players, and they're our leaders, and so everybody's got to follow that. They're also the tough guys, and they're setting the standard that everybody else has to follow. So it's fun to see when things are happening out there that aren't up to those guys' standards. Other people hear about it, and a lot of stuff's getting handled by the team that coaches used to have to handle.
That's music to all of our ears, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think overall there's just a lot more. Maybe you looked at some of the position groups a year ago, maybe you had some younger guys that weren't necessarily comfortable with leading their group, but then you just look at overall, there's a leader and a vocal guy in every group, every position group that's holding their group accountable, and it's across the board. But then there's other guys that step up to that, and I think they're pushing each other and making sure that each other, hey, if you're slacking off, I'm letting you know about it, and vice versa. And I think that's because there is a big group of leaders as opposed to just 3 or 4 leaders that some teams, you know, end up having every year.
BTM was here yesterday. We talked to Dave Revson last night. Joshua Perry was one of the other guys from their crew that was here, and he put out a little video vignette today with 3 observations from camp. And he said his last one was, I'm going to get this not quite right, but close. That's all we need, right, folks? Close. Is this hand grenades or horseshoes? That's what the old saying is, horseshoes or hand grenades. He said the intensity and the energy at practice was way better than last year. And my theory on that, Jessica, is last year we had those 7 COVID guys, 7 6-year guys, JoJo, Ben Stilley, and those guys were just kind of like, oh, we've been through this before. We know when to turn it on if the season starts. But they were the leaders, so everybody goes, okay, well, they're not really ratcheting up yet because they know they're saving. So now those guys are gone. So now you got Garrett Nelson, who's the Energizer Bunny. He doesn't ever slow down. He's kind of the guy out in front of a lot of these people. So I think now, and I'm not trying to badmouth JoJo or Ben or any of those guys that came back from last year, but I get that. They were kind of going, we've been through this 5 other times, and where now you don't have that. And it got a little bit more youthful enthusiasm to this group.
Well, and not only that, and again, not bashing them because they were great leaders, but they were all kind of the same leader in that they didn't really get after people a little bit, you know, like I think there's a lot of guys in this group that aren't afraid to get after their teammates and realize that, hey, I mean, you heard Trey Palmer say it the other day, we're brothers and we're going to get after each other, but when we step off the field, it stays on the field. And then, you know, that's what brings a team closer together. And so I think that group last year, they were tremendous leaders and led by example, but they were very, very nice and kind. And I don't know if they were one to get after somebody's rear end if they were doing something wrong.
Yeah. All right, offense. How about handing this thing over to Mark Whipple? How has that gone of putting in a lot of new systems for the team? Here's the head coach.
No, it's going the way I think everybody expected it. If you run any scheme, offensively or defensively, if you run it well and you have good players, you can be good. And having somebody with the experience that these assistant coaches have and the experience Whip has in here brings a lot of ideas and a lot of experience to the table. We just got to keep working to make sure we land in a good place.
So that sounds positive. So let's get into the quarterbacks. The coach was asked about Casey's hand, which there's been some talk that there was a hand issue after spring football. He addresses that and about how that position looks.
Yeah, you know, Casey had an off-season procedure done on his thumb. I got to tell you, his play has really risen since spring, and I think that had something to do with it. We got a lot of quarterbacks playing well right now, but I've been really pleased with what I've seen from Casey, and we'll let him keep working. And right now, it's his job to lose.
That's the money quote.
Yeah, and I think just the few practices I've been out there, it looks like he's a guy that's played a lot of football, you know, and that he's comfortable in that situation. And he threw the ball a lot last year and threw it around to a bunch of different people. So I think he's comfortable getting multiple receivers and tight ends and involved. And I think he really likes this offense and he's clicked with Coach Whipple. And but yeah, I think that's been pretty evident that it's his job to lose.
Perfect segue into this next clip, which was about Casey's experience and how that's been a bit of a separator, at least to this point.
I don't know if he separated himself. He's just played well. Other guys have played well, too. He's obviously the guy with the most experience that we have. I want him to keep getting better. I want all the guys to keep getting better. We got really good players around, whoever's going to be quarterback, but seeing a lot of consistency and just you can tell he's experienced because he does some things that young quarterbacks don't do.
Not quite naming him the starter yet, though.
No, I mean, I don't think they're ready for that. And who knows, maybe they won't. Just because we know nothing about Northwestern, and they have a quarterback battle going on. And who knows what's going to happen there. But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But don't be surprised if they don't, I guess, is my thing. Because I think there's a little chess match going on. And we both talked about we don't think we'll know Northwestern's starting quarterback.
Right. Yeah, there is. There's a little gamemanship between the two, and that's what happens week one.
And Jeremiah even talked about that, I mean, when we had our last podcast, that this team and internally, they're going to know who's starting where pretty soon. But outside of that, nobody else might not know for sure. But as far as the players and the staff, they're going to know who's starting in a lot of these roles pretty soon as camp rolls on.
All right, let's talk offensive line. The coach was asked about that and said, have you got kind of a set group on your number one unit? Here was his response.
No, I don't think any of that's finalized yet. There's only a couple guys, I think, that are locked into positions. I won't say who, but Donnie's been doing a really good job of doing what I want and of moving guys around. And there'll be one day a guy will be at left guard, and the next day he's at left tackle, and the next day he's on the right side. And that's important because you never know how the season's going to play out and where we're going to need to plug somebody in. Guys are getting more experiences at different places right now.
And please don't bring up the bathroom example of switching hands.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You went there.
Don't go there. Jeremiah Searles. All right, how about the other side of the ball, the edge rushers? A lot of attention about that group, and O'Shawn Mathis is arguably maybe the most talented transfer portal addition that Nebraska has added. Here's the coach talking about O'Shawn and the edge.
O'Shawn's got elite talent and just a great guy. You talk about someone that's come in and adopted the culture and fit in with the guys and been a good teammate from day one here. Oshawn's one of those guys, and we have several of them. Maybe the best thing about getting Oshawn here is I've really seen Garrett and Caleb and Jamari and Blaze's game step up. And I don't know if him getting added to the equation motivated them or not. Maybe they'd have been doing the same thing, but it's great to watch those guys work. That's a position I feel great about because of the depth and the talent that we have there.
Heard that from multiple coaches about that's a really, really good position.
Yeah, the edge, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think those are the guys, as I've been saying, those are the guys that are kind of leading the way too. And I mean, Garrett looks like a maniac out there. I mean, he is hyping guys up when he's on the sideline and it's the 2s or 3s out there. He's encouraging and he's, making sure his guys are ready to go for when they run back out there and just exuding energy. Absolutely.
All right, leave you with a little bit of an off-topic question that kind of wrapped up the session today, and it was about NIL. He was asked about, now that we're a year into this, what kind of effect has it had on chemistry with the team and the locker room? Some guys getting bigger NIL deals than others. Interesting response. We thought we'd let you hear that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an issue for a long time. It hasn't been an issue on our football team. I've talked to the guys about it a lot of times. I'm happy guys on our team are making money. The reality is there's going to be some with a little more in their pocket than the other. I don't have anything to do with it. That's just the way it works. Our NIL company is doing an unbelievable job, and it's helped us attract some really good talent. I've had a couple leaders on my team tell me that they don't care how much they make. They just want to win, and that's the attitude you want.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I just am not surprised for a few different reasons because, well, Nebraska fans are supporting and they're absolutely buy into these players, and there's a lot of different opportunities that you're seeing coming up for players to grow that business, build that brand, but then also the way that Nebraska's been set up and they have people helping and, making sure that it's spreading around and I also, too, and then I'm not surprised either because Oshawn Mathis came in here after he had gotten on campus and sat here and told me that it wasn't about that for him. I mean, he wanted to go to the next place. Because for Oshawn, let's be real, if he gets to the NFL, that he's going to make way more money there than what he does here in NIL. And so, and I know none of that is guaranteed, but I think for him, he's looking at what's going to set me up to make it at the next place. But I also don't think that empty promises are being made either in terms of that, which we've seen at a couple other places,
yep.
Not to mention USC. But yeah, I mean, I think there have been some players that have come out and felt like that the things that they were promised aren't being delivered. I don't think that's going to be an issue here because I don't think that it's the coaches making these promises.
Right. In Nebraska, we had Jamie Vaughn from compliance in here. God, was that May or June we had Jamie in here? And he said, we monitor. We make sure whatever they're supposed to be doing for the NIL money, whether it's an autograph session, tossing T-shirts out, whatever it is, he goes, we monitor and make sure it's being done. Yes. Whatever the promise was, you get this for this, the service is being provided back to whoever's written the check. I
think it's a kudos and a shout out to the businesses here in Nebraska that they're taking advantage of it and providing these kinds of opportunities, and then the athletes and the compliance. And look, it's a massive moving parts deal that a lot of different people are involved in, and here at the university, we're not allowed to, promote it or set it up or anything, but it just seems from the perspective from the outside that there's a lot of businesses that are taking advantage of some cool deals with these athletes and investing in them, and that's allowing for these student athletes to, again, build their business. But then on the flip side of that, they're having to do what they're supposed to do in terms of that because you never know when the NCAA
they go, hey,
show me that. Yeah, I mean, I know they're not doing much of that now, supposedly, but there might come a time when that does happen, and you better be able to back up what you've done.
Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit gocurrency.com for details. That wraps up our practice report here for a Friday night. All right, what'd you hear? What'd you think? 402-413-2400. That's the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Or if you'd rather fire off a text, you can certainly do that. We're also up on our YouTube stream channel tonight, and a lot of folks in there having some fun chatting back and forth. We can certainly answer questions through that chat room as well. We're back with more Sports Nightly coming up next.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Traffic's Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Friday night. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Or if you would like to fire off a text, you can certainly do that. Art in Los Angeles. Love when Art texts in, says, all right, Huskers practice is 3 days, 1 day off. Will that include Sundays? If so, I would think Sundays practices would be unusual. I remember back in the day, Sunday practices were against the rules. No, Sundays, you can still loop that into whatever your calendar you want. And some college football teams even do a light workout on Sundays after a game day and then kind of give Monday off as their day off.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to have 1 day off of activities, and people tweak that to however, but yeah, it's because of that schedule. This week will be a Sunday off day, but they did practice on Sunday last week. That was my first one that I went out to, and I think they were off the day before maybe. So yeah, it will be whenever it falls, if it gets to that. But I think, yeah, they'll continue to have their Sundays off because it's mandatory, but they can still come in and get their treatments, massages, whatever it might be, throughout the season. But you have to legally, NCAA, you're mandated to have a day off.
Matt in Norfolk said, love the show, guys. Can't wait for the year. We have great depth at so many positions. Very excited to see the quarterbacks and the backs. Thanks, guys. Go Big Red. Yeah, I mean, you have to have intrigue. Quarterbacks are because it's been the Adrian show for 4 years. So this is going to be, I think, really exciting for people to see somebody else take the snaps at the quarterback position. And Anthony Grant gave us a little taste in the spring game of what he can do. But remember, that first half was thud only, and so it was really hard to see what he could do. But he did show you a couple nifty moves. So I think he's going to be fun to watch, and all the backs are.
Yeah, I think so too. And I just, again, because of Coach Whipple and the different things that he does, and depending on the matchups with the opposing defenses, you might see running backs doing more than just taking the handoff. I think we've said it at length how much Ramir is going to be probably involved in the passing game. And, I think just seeing what Whipple has done in the past and involving those running backs and tight ends so much and those different wrinkles, I think they're going to be able to call and rely upon different running backs depending on who's working and what's working and what the game plan involves for that game.
Guys in the chat room are saying it seems like Coach's a little different this year. Intense, but yet kind of relaxed. You've kind of noticed that too, and I think it's probably because he's handed the reins of the offense to Whipple, and so he can go do other things during practice instead of just being locked in on calling a play.
Yeah, I think he's like kind of being able to run around and see some of the younger guys, but watch the defense and the offense. And I think that relationship has really grown between Coach Frost and Coach Whipple, and Coach Frost trusts Coach Whipple and likes what he's seeing. I think that's also a big part of it too, is he likes the way that the offense is progressing, which also helps
the mood.
yeah, for sure.
Buckle up, put the phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. To the phones we go. Doc Rock up in Omaha. Good evening, Doc. How are you?
Hey, it's been a while.
No doubt.
But here we are. Go Big Red. And we got a game one in our sights, that's for sure. Last year's game against Northwestern, we handled, score. Obviously, it was a big win. I think the reason why we won the way we did was skill position players. It was pretty obvious that we had the nod in that category. Hopefully we get another big win. We'll see. But with the transfer portal and the way Nebraska's done and practice reports and whatever, I'm really drinking some Kool-Aid here. With the transfer portal, you kind of can compare it to the NFL and free agency and whatnot. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So obviously we have to prove a lot of things on the field. Again, talking about O'Shawn Mathis, Casey, the list goes on. But I'm very excited for game one. I'm going to predict a win right now, only because I think Nebraska is once again going to have a decisive margin in our favor in the skill position category. So special teams, let's turn that baby up to 10 this season. Can't wait to see what Bill Bush has got coming for us there. It's about time.
Very good, Doc. Don't be a stranger. Get back to us sooner than later. I totally agree with him. And I salute Scott Frost and his staff. They didn't ignore the transfer portal a year ago. They went and got Samori Toure, and they got Chris Kolarvik from Northern Iowa, but they just kind of dipped their toe in it. This year they went and said, all right, we need guys here, 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 and here, and they went and found them.
Yeah, and I feel like the transfer portal has been in the conversation, but it really exploded last year, especially after all the NILs and the coaches changes and all of that. But yeah, and I think if you look at some of these players that are brought in, these are good players that were also looking for a new home to come showcase their talents that maybe coaches left or they didn't have a good situation that they left. That I think they're appreciative of the opportunity here too, because it doesn't always work when you bring in all these different bodies and people from all over, but it seems like they've got you also have to pay attention to that and making sure that the people that you're bringing in mesh with the direction you're trying to go with the football team.
I did a national show the other day, and they were like, how's Nebraska even attractive to somebody? And I go, have you been to a game here?
Yeah.
I mean, have you come and seen 90,000 still show up, even though that was a 3-9 football team last year? Their passion. And kids come on campus and see that, and they're going, well, yeah, why wouldn't I want to be a part of that? I understand the record hasn't been very good the last couple of years, but, folks, you're a big part of it. You still are coming. You're still showing interest in this program, and that trickles down. Kids pick up on that.
Yeah.
They get it.
And that's what a lot of them say, too, is just, the amount of support and appreciation, and they love it, and it's a big part. Absolutely, it's a massive part of why they want to come here, because not every place is guaranteed. I mean, TCU has decent football crowds, but it's nowhere. I've been to several games at TCU. It is nowhere near. They might get up for a big matchup, but
your Texas comes in
every single Saturday. There's no O'Shawn hasn't played in front of a crowd like that, and he's excited about that potential. And the spring game crowd helped win him over in that regard. And so, there's just not a lot of places that have this kind of atmosphere. And even in the NFL, it's not always like this either.
I've told people that, and now you've experienced for years, so you get it now. I told Andrew's new roommate, I said, it's the 7 Saturdays are like Super Bowls around here. The whole town just transforms into something completely different than the other 358 days of the year. It's just something magical about this place, those 7 home Saturdays.
And as a competitor, as a player, that's the atmosphere you want to play in. That's what fuels you. That's what drives you. You don't want to go play in front of nobody in the stands and nobody caring what you're doing. You work so hard and you want to put on a show, and that's what you want as a competitor, is to play in front of that kind of atmosphere.
Phone lines, text lines wide open for you, 402-413-2400. It's our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
Discover the pinnacle of American automotive design with the all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair is your Wagoneer certified dealer, delivering an experience to match the premium quality of your vehicle, making your choice easy. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer are equipped with state-of-the-art technology, a luxurious, expansive cabin, and confident capability you would expect from this legendary SUV. Visit us in-store or online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Time to tell you about a couple of ticket plans that Athletics is offering up. One's the OU Plus 2 mini plan. You get a ticket to the Oklahoma game, 2 tickets to the North Dakota game, 2 tickets to the Georgia Southern game for $270, or a Big Ten mini plan. All the Big Ten home games, there's 4 of them, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin, $200 for that. You can put the plan together yourself by visiting huskers.com/tickets. Irv on our text line goes, how many of the transfer portal additions are seniors? We believe 1, and that's Kevin Williams, the transfer from Northern Colorado. Irv and Skyler wanted to know this, by the way. And he was from Omaha originally, played several years at Northern Colorado. He's listed as a senior. The rest of them are juniors or less. Now, a couple guys, I think, feel like this is their last year playing college football, and they're going to go on. O'Shawn Mathis, I think, feels like he's ready for the NFL after this year. So we'll see, but there you go, Irv. Only 1 of all those transfers, 16 of them are seniors.
Yep, I think there could be a few guys, I mean, depending on what Casey Thompson does in a year, Trey Palmer, if they go take care of business, potentially could be draft eligible.
They're on scouts' radars.
O'Shawn has also made that clear, is that he hopes to come here, develop, and that's why he wanted to come here, because he felt like he could make strides in a year to go be ready to play in the NFL. But if it doesn't work out, he has 2. Most of them have 2. But, I mean, there are even some young guys, too. You look at Chuba as a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
Brian Buschini is a sophomore, the punter. So there are some younger guys in that, too, that have more years than that, but a good chunk of them are juniors with 2 years.
Stephon Wynn, the defensive lineman from Alabama, is a junior. That was one other bit of news that Coach Frost had. Devin Drew is not here yet. His summer class ended today down in Texas. As long as that goes well, he should be in Lincoln over the weekend and start to work out with his team next week. I don't know. Coaches don't know what kind of shape he's in, but he's played a lot of Big 12 football.
Yep, and that experience, being that they don't have a lot of experience other than Ty Robinson, so that's always good, too, if you've got somebody that has played a lot of football moving into that rotation.
It's a big story to follow, and we will do just that in the coming weeks. All right, 1 hour in the books. Next hour, we will hear from Gabe Irvin, who's worked his way back from that knee injury a year ago in the game in Norman, and also Justin Sinclair, who has been named today the interim track and field coach for the Cornhuskers, taking over for the legendary Gary Pepin. We'll talk to the new track coach in hour 2. Keep the calls and texts coming. We'll talk more football as well next hour.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Friday, Huskers fans. Scott Frost met with the media this morning as Husker football continues through fall camp. He spoke about the installing of Mark Whipple's new offensive schemes for the upcoming season.
It's going well. We are, Whip's in control. He's running it. I think it was important that the kids become familiar with all the stuff that he wants to do. There's elements of it that we've done. I think we'll add wrinkles and things that we've done. But trying to get overly involved every day probably wasn't the right strategy. So I'll help, and I think we'll end up with a good blend. But to this point, it's been fun to watch his offense kind of evolve and bloom. And the assistant coaches and offense are doing a great job too. So it's been fun to be able to sit back and have a little more of a mile-high view of it all.
And after Gary Pepin, Nebraska track and field head coach for the last 42 years, retired yesterday, track and field named their new head coach this morning as Nebraska throwers coach. That was his previous position. Justin Sinclair will be promoted to the interim head coach role. Prior to his arrival at Nebraska last season, Coach Sinclair spent 10 years at North Dakota State University, winning the National Assistant Coach of the Year award for men's indoor track and field in 2019. In his first year with Nebraska last season, Sinclair coached 10 NCAA qualifiers, including a pair of NCAA medalists, all on the way to earning his 10th USTF CCA Midwest Region Assistant Coach of the Year award, Coach of the Year award dating back to 2016. Huskers throwers also set 4 school records and 13 top 10 marks in program history under St. Clair's tutelage last season. We'll hear from him later in the hour. Over to Major League Baseball, and I apologize. I took you guys on a time-traveling trip last hour. That was the wrong scores in Hour 1. We do have tonight's scores in Hour 2. It is still a rain delay between the Pirates and Orioles. A lot of rain out east. That one's still in the first, waiting to get underway. The Phillies are beating up on the Nationals 6-0. That one's in the bottom of the third. The Braves are whooping up on the Mets. It's 8-0 in just the bottom of the second there. The Astros, another lopsided score, 6-1. They have the advantage over the Guardians in the bottom of the third. In the top of the third, it's 3-0 Tigers as they lead the Rays. And then another rain delay. The Brewers are hosting the Reds, and that one yet to get underway as well. In just a few minutes, we'll see the White Sox take on the Rangers in Texas. It'll be the Red Sox out in Kansas City to play the Royals. That's at 7:10. Also at 7:10 will be the Blue Jays meeting the Twins in Minnesota. The Yankees will take on the Cardinals at 7:15. The Rockies will battle the Diamondbacks at 8:40. And then at 9:10, we have a pair of games, the Angels and Mariners out in Seattle, and the Padres battling the Dodgers. Possible NLCS preview there. That one's at 9:10. Only one final from earlier today. The Cubs bested the Marlins 2-1. This update is presented by Currency. Need financing for heavy machinery, farm equipment, trucks, or trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out in the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We're back, hour number 2, final hour of the night, final hour of the week of Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network. So glad you've chosen to spend a little bit of your Friday night with us. We're honored and privileged to be talking with you here tonight. Going to hear from Gabe Irvin in a couple of minutes, and then Justin Sinclair, the new interim track and field coach for the Big Reds, going to stop by and talk about taking over for a legend. I mentioned earlier in the program, went and picked up my copy of Phil Steele's College Football Encyclopedia today. He has this category of 2022 surprise teams, and it's usually pretty intriguing. I think this is a swing and a miss by Phil. His number one surprise team of this year is the Pitt Panthers. They won the ACC last year, right? But I know they lost a lot.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just like, because they, I don't know. I just think that's hard to put them as a surprise team when they were so good a year ago.
Yeah, true. And then I told you CBS put out their top 25, and Pitt is 25. So obviously other people think that they're going to be pretty good, and that's based off of what they did a year ago. I mean, at least.
But I wouldn't call them a surprise team based on the fact that they won the league.
Yeah.
They're number 2, USC.
Yep. Okay.
Baylor's 4, and how are they a surprise team, Phil? Come on. I mean, they won the Big 12. They won the Sugar Bowl,
and they
I
were
think.
preseason picked to win the Big 12.
How could that be a surprise team? He has 2 Big 10 teams in his list of 10, or a list of 12. Penn State at 8, and Penn State's coming off a pretty mediocre year, and he's got Wisconsin at 11. So those are the 2 Big 10
What's his
teams.
definition of the...
Just teams that are going to do better than most people project them to be. But again, I think this is a swing and a miss. Pitt's a defending league champ.
Well,
so
other people are considering them a top 25 team, so...
Right. How's that surprise? Come on, Phil. You got to be better than that. I'm paying for that. So, no, it's fun. I'll be reading a lot of that in the coming days. Getting ready for
what's your approach to reading that? Like,
well, it's really helpful game week because I can go back and kind of read on some teams.
You don't
and
read
stuff.
from start to finish, cover to cover.
No.
You just go read about the teams that...
I mean, look at the print on that. The size of that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It's pretty good to break into, particularly teams we play, and early in the season, it's really helpful because you don't have much game tape on the teams. And we're not going to know anything about Northwestern.
And he has players to watch, I'm sure. Who does he have as Nebraska's players to watch?
I think he was pretty high on Casey Thompson. Thinks he'll fit in really well with Mark Whipple's offense here.
Have you been surprised? I've been a little bit surprised about, when you talk about all the different quarterbacks and transfers. He's not on a lot of people's lists in top 5 quarterback transfers to watch.
Should be. Right?
I know. That I've, a few articles here or there. They'll have Spencer Rattler and Caleb Williams and Jackson Dart, and even just blanked on the kid from Oklahoma.
Daniels. Daniels?
No, the kid.
Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Yeah,
Dylan Gabriel.
I was like, why can't I think of his name? So, but he's not in a lot of people's conversations I feel like
I think he's pretty good.
I think he's earned, what he did last year and hurt most of the time. So, but yeah, I mean, I think he'd be fine with that. Again, talking about Low Grimer in the Butkus Award list. It's not about where you are in the beginning; it's how you finish. And I think Casey's fine with flying under the radar for now.
Absolutely. Jeremy in Texas on our text line. Something I feel is different from the practice videos is the way our quarterbacks seem to be throwing in drills. In the past, it looked like they were practicing half speed. These guys look like they're competing at full speed. I wasn't going to drink the Kool-Aid, but boy, it tastes so good. Give me another cup. How about that, Jeremy? Love it. I love that passion. Dennis says on offense, will we be going with a slower tempo than last year? I think it'll depend, Dennis. I think you're going to see Nebraska's quarterbacks under center more than you've seen in the past. I think they're going to take some direct snaps from the center, not being shotgun all the time. But I think they'll vary their tempo.
Yes, I think you're going to see a mix of both. I think they're going to be able to slow it down if they need to, but I think they can hurry it up if they need to, too.
Yeah. All right, a couple players were made available yesterday, and you caught up with Gabe Irvin, who I just really like him. He's such a mature young guy. Hated the fact that he got hurt last year and had to recover from that, but he's put a lot of effort into that, and he's close to being ready to roll.
Yeah, he's fantastic to get to talk to, always is. I know we talked to him back in June and coming off the injury, but wanted to get his perspective now that he's back on the field, because he hadn't been on the field yet because they held him out of spring. So now that he's actually going through game reps, so here is Gabe Irvin. All right, well, Gabe Irvin, how you feeling, and how does it feel to get back out there?
Feeling great. God gave me another chance to be back on that field, and that's what it is. I'm taking that chance, and I'm putting the pedal to the metal, and I'm ready to go.
You did go through this a year ago, fall camp, so has it felt like you were ahead or been able to pick right up? You feel more comfortable, I guess, in this situation, being that last year was your first time at it, now you get a second go at it.
Yep, second go. I know how it was last year. First couple practice, had to get my mojo back, but, when it was practice 3, now I'm rolling, seeing the holes better, being more decisive in my holes and cuts and making the guy miss, getting upfield and scoring, so that's what I really wanted to take approach, in the offseason was my lateral cuts and making guys miss, so I can be more effective on that. But I feel like this fall camp is going great. Fall camp is hard, in general. But, the difference is if you have that mental toughness to have that consistency every day to do this, to do what's hard every day, each and every day. So that's what I'm taking. I'm doing, the same thing each and every day and trying to be the best I can be on and off the field, the best version of myself. So that's good.
Awesome. Besides the knee, just conditioning-wise, how did you feel? I know you put in a lot of work, and a lot of people bragged about the way you approached everything you had to do this summer.
The knee's good, long 7 months of rehab, and I took it in the rehab, worked hard, and now I have another chance to get back on the field, and the knee feels great.
Outside of the knee, just your conditioning, how do you feel, and what was your approach to that this summer?
Fall camp, getting back in football shape is really different, but, when it was practice 6, and now I think it's 7 now, we're in football shape, we're rolling. So fall camp is really getting us in shape.
The first real handoff that you took in a team situation, really getting to go at it, how did that feel?
It felt so great to be back on that field, to get the ball, what I love. I felt like I was back again, and I'm just trying to take that approach each and every day.
And how has the offense progressed now that you guys got a full week of practice and continuing to develop the offense and what you guys want to do?
The offense is good. We're all getting, as a whole, trying to do what's best each and every day and, get better at each and every play. So that's really good. We're trying to take the approach to win on our one-on-one matchups in open field, try to get open and score touchdowns, and it's really good.
One of the things I noticed when I've been out there is that when you guys, even when the play is blown dead, you guys take it all the way to the end zone. Is that something that Coach Applewhite stresses?
Oh, yeah. Coach Applewhite literally, preaches that each and every day to take it to the house, because that's going to get us in shape, and that's going to make a difference maker, in the game. We're going to take it to the house without even being out of breath. So that's what we do every day. We practice to take it to the house, and that's going to get us in shape.
How important is that mentality, too, just to finish it no matter what?
It's tough. It's tough to finish it, but you got to find that grit and find that heart and that dog to finish every play, because that's what you're going to have to do in the game.
It also seems like there's going to be opportunities for a lot of different running backs to make an impact on this offense. So how has that gone with you guys in the competition and getting different opportunities?
Yeah, when you get that opportunity, you got to take it, because you never know when you're going to have that other opportunity. So we're all pushing each other to be the best, because that's going to grow the running back room and make each other better. And at the end of it, it's going to be the best running back room in the Big Ten, and that's what we're striving for. Coach Applewhite wants us to be the best running back room in the Big Ten, and that's our standard each and every day.
You didn't get to be on the field with him in the spring, so what's it been like for you just to work with him actually on the field and getting those practice-type reps?
It's good. Coach Applewhite is a good coach. He came in as a standard to be the most hard-working, most physical position group on the field, period, in all aspects, and he preaches that every day, and he makes us say it every day so we can attack it.
It also seems like you guys are a really tight group, that you guys really like each other, too. How do you balance that, too? You're competing, but then you also are really close.
Off the field, we all friends, we all cool, but on the field, we know it's business, and we got to take care of business, and that's how we're going to strive to be the best.
How good is that, though, for a team overall to have multiple options and to have that depth in the running back room?
It's going to be good. As an offense, we need that. We need all the backs to be at our best, and we need to compete, and that's just going to make the offense better. Coach Whip is doing a great job, is putting us in a position to get open and win. So that's going to be good.
Got to ask you about the offensive line. How have they come along and been gelling?
Oh, the offensive line looks great. Coach Raiola is pitting them guys to work, pitting them guys to be more disciplined and more sound and pit on blocks and driving. So that's the biggest difference maker in the offensive line from last year.
Being that the defense has so many playmakers and guys coming back, how good is that? How much does that push you guys, the competition that you're going up against every day?
It's good. That defense is good too. Going against our defense is really good. So going against that every day, it's going to just push us to be better, because in the games, that's how it's going to be.
And then what's the goal for this offense now that you have 1 week down and 2 weeks to go before you get into game week and you're traveling to Ireland?
The goal is to be better, to clean up on the little mistakes and turn the little mistakes into perfect sound. So that's what we got to do, because some little mistakes that we make, but we're going to have to be clean and be sharp and be crisp, and that's going to make a difference maker in game 1 against Northwestern.
One final one for you. With so many new people, and we've talked about the players meshing and getting together, what's it been like the new coaches? How have they meshed together?
Coaches mesh together good. They haven't been together, before, so we're all like getting together oriented and the relationship wise on the field, and they're connecting good, calling plays, talking to communicating with each other really good, and it's going to be all good, all said and done.
Gabe, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I mean, he's so impressive, right?
Wow. He's like 19 years old.
I know.
My goodness.
I know. Lots of things that I took away from that, but I think one of the big things is I mentioned it that I had noticed about with the running backs, even when the play goes dead, they blow the whistle, they keep running all the way to the end zone, and they could be at the other 20-yard line and run 80 yards. And, you heard him talk about with Brian Applewhite that he says that, hey, you finish the play. It's also with conditioning so that you're getting that extra conditioning, but also getting that mentality of finishing all the way to the end zone.
I don't know how many carries he gets because it's going to be difficult, I think, for Coach Applewhite to balance those. But he's going to play a lot because Bill Bush raved about Gabe in special teams and how he attacks that phase. So he's going to find himself on the field.
Well, and he told him, hey, I don't have you on the list for this today or whatever it was they were working out at. But
he showed up.
And he was just there. He was in the line, just ready to go. But we've heard that about him even as a true freshman, how impressive he was, how he handled his business, and he carried that over, and he's got a different perspective. And, even Coach Applewhite was saying how he's a guy that's always early and he's doing everything extra, and he's just he's so appreciative of being able to get back and feeling how he's feeling, because that's always a scary time too when you go down and you're a running back and you have a knee injury like that. Am I going to feel like I felt before? It's always a scary thought, and I think he's so appreciative that he feels even better than he did at this point a year ago.
Good to hear from Gabe. Good to have him back. He is going to help this football team. He's a good, solid football player. Glad he's a Cornhusker. Had a text. Are they going to go with are the football tickets paper or electronic this fall? They are electronic unless you call the ticket office and request paper tickets. They will make you paper tickets if that's your preferred mode of getting those. But I'm telling you, we're phasing those out, and that's just kind of the way it is. And I know for some people they don't ever want those to go away, but they're going to phase those out. But you can call the ticket office and request paper tickets. They will print you separate paper tickets if you'd rather have those.
And the ticket office number is 402-472-3111 if you need to call. But my dad made the transition to digital tickets, and he loves it now. He prefers that over having to worry about the tickets and finding a way to get them. And if he can figure it out, anybody can.
Yep. So, again, I know that's a tough transition for some folks, but that's where we're headed. It's going to eventually be they're not going to have the ability to print those for you moving forward. But they will this year if you call and ask them to have your tickets printed and sent to you. And those ought to be going out here pretty soon. That's the weird thing is we have a game soon, but it's a road game. So we still have a few more weeks before that first home game.
Yes, and it's fun, too, because all the processes and productions are in place to get things ready for the big screen and the in-venue, all the event staff, all the planning is happening, and it's full speed ahead trying to make sure everything is ready to go come that first game.
All right, our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way for one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. All right, when we come back, we'll hear from the interim track and field coach named today, Justin St. Clair. Looking forward to chatting with him. That's coming up next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Nice jitterbug move, and it's bouncing to the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage. Scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Hey, Huskers fans. This Monday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down another Nebraska football fall camp practice report. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Buy your next vehicle your way from anywhere with Woodhouse. Start your journey online at woodhouse.com. Easily shop all new and pre-owned inventory. Explore payment options and apply for financing. Ready to purchase? Schedule your new vehicle for pickup from the dealership or have it delivered to your driveway. Need a little extra help in determining your perfect vehicle? Our knowledgeable and local dealerships can guide you to the vehicle that best matches your needs. Experience car buying your way with Woodhouse, a trusted auto partner since 1975.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Delighted to be joined tonight by Justin Sinclair, who was named today as the interim track and field head coach for the Cornhuskers. He's with us tonight. Congratulations, Coach. What's the last 24 hours been like for you?
It's really been a lot, really. You know, a lot of emotions, nerves, excitement, all of the above. You're stepping in a situation where you've had a head coach who's been here for 42 years, just a legend, the legacy. To just put yourself in that perspective of stepping into that role and replacing that individual is just something tremendous, very humbling, very honoring. To me, it's simply amazing.
You've been in Lincoln about a year. What's that year been like for you? You came from North Dakota State.
Yeah, you know, Lincoln's always been a place for me that has kind of visioned as a place, hey, this is a place I would love to be, for many reasons. And it's been really great so far, to be honest. The weather is Much better in the wintertime.
Yep.
People will say, oh, well, it's, Lincoln, Nebraska, it has to be cold. I'm like, well, not exactly. Last winter was awesome. So, no, it's been everything. It's exceeded my expectation by far.
You've had the reputation of being one of the preeminent throws coaches in track and field anywhere in the world, and you had some success with athletes this year. So even just 1 year on the job here, you had some athletes, both male and female, that did really well for you, did you?
We had a pretty successful season, yeah. I think a lot of it goes to the athletes. It's, in my opinion, they do all the work. I don't want credit for that. They come in, they commit themselves day in and day out. They work hard, they do what's asked of them, and at the end, I play a small piece of that, but they've done a really good job, yeah.
We mentioned last night on the program that I don't know that the general sports fan realizes how big a track and field program like Nebraska's is. You deal with an awful lot of athletes, and you were focused on the throwers this past year. Now you broaden that out, don't you? Now you're kind of overseeing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's part of the excitement, right? So you get when you're a specific coach, you are working primarily with your group. But now you get the opportunity. Sure, you always interact with all the athletes, even as an assistant, but now I get the opportunity to interact with everybody on the team, more so, and play a bigger role, and that's really exciting.
Let's talk about the future for the program. Coach Pepin always said that the indoor facility was a huge part of what made Nebraska track so good. Now you're getting an outdoor track put together. How big will that be for the future of this program?
I think, across the country, everywhere you go, facilities are always going to be important, and it's a very vital piece for recruiting, for your current athletes, for fans, and the opportunities to host bigger meets beyond your regular, dual meets or tribe meets or whatever you want to call them. So having really nice facilities that are world-class is very critical, absolutely.
In the last 24 hours, I know that we're between semesters here, I don't know how many of your athletes are even on campus. Have you had a chance to meet or talk to a number of the athletes on the current roster?
We've had an opportunity to have some Zoom calls with the entire team and kind of discuss and let everyone know, hey, this is the direction of things and this is what's going on. Had a lot of individual personal phone calls and, obviously a few meetings in person for the ones that are around. So it's been pretty active, yeah.
Tell me about the conversation with Trev Alberts. What was that like when he called you up and said, hey, here's what I'm thinking of doing?
Honored. It makes me feel very blessed, very honored that they view somebody currently on staff, good enough or respected enough or have the vision to realize, hey, we have somebody in-house that can keep this ship sailing in the right direction. So, tremendous honor.
Give me kind of an outline of the next 30 days. What's on your to-do list? I'm sure it's probably growing as you go, oh yeah, I got to do that, or oh yes, I got to add that to the list. What's this going to be like the next 30 days?
That's a good question, right? There's no crystal ball. The biggest thing is just making sure that everybody knows what the plan is, what is going to be the consistency of that plan, and what our vision as a department, as a team, as a coaching staff, what is that vision, and how are we going to, do that together as a group?
Nebraska offers a lot. The academic services are pretty elite. How have you found that part of it? Life skills, academics, training table, all those things. How has that been as you view this for the last 12 months?
Exceptional. We are very fortunate to have the resources that we have. Academically, with the support that we have a world-class university with great academics and the support. It's unmeasurable. So it's really something special, if you ask me.
Well, congratulations again. I know you spent, was it 10 years in Fargo? And did a tremendous job there. It's great to have you in Lincoln. And I know, as you said, Coach Pepin kind of is Nebraska track and field. I mean, when you run the program that long and I told him last night he'll go into this Hall of Fame, I think, pretty quick here in Nebraska. But I'm so excited for you, and I know you're going to do great things.
Well, he's a tremendous man, great mentor, and just somebody I dearly look up to.
Congratulations, Justin.
Thank you very much.
Justin Sinclair with us here is named today by Trev Alberts as the interim track and field head coach for the Cornhuskers, starting right now for the Big Red. Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Back with more of the show next.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged sales event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged sales event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Here's to the locals.
raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you Friday night here on Sports Nightly and the Huskers Radio Network. Dennis in Omaha said, please ask the coach about Kaylin Meyer, and I got that late, so I sorry I didn't get to that, but she was a terrific athlete from Superior, came here on a volleyball scholarship, but she was a nationally known discus thrower. She's now full-time track. I know they're very excited about her.
She's crazy athletic, right? I mean, like, they were just have raved about her, and can only imagine now that she's going all in on a sport, how much she'll take off.
Yeah. Now that she can train year-round for the discus, and her first meet out, I think she finished 4th in the discus. So I know Coach Pepin told me he thought she could be an Olympian at some point in time. He thinks she's got that kind of ability. Let's head to the phones. Tim in Minnesota joins us next. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, folks. Hey, Greg and Jessica, I want to thank you for just expanding my awareness of how other sports are doing. I'll admit, most of my attention has been, over the years, has been football and basketball. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. But you have really kind of raised my excitement and awareness, especially for sports like track. But, there's other things. Swimming, golf, you name it, some of these others. The way you guys have promoted these others, in addition to those, has really helped me, regardless of whether I'm in, Minnesota or Nebraska. It's really, just helped me get more excited and supportive on that. When it doesn't necessarily have to be now, but I have kind of a golf story kind of backing off Dave Revson. I can save it for another time. I am a terrible golfer, but I was just thinking he was talking about how scenic Nebraska is. I actually played high school golf, but I've got a story that probably fits in somewhere, but I can save that for another time. It definitely has some drama at the end, so maybe another time. But
very good. Tim,
I want to get someone from some of my friends. I was hoping to get my former wife with me down for a game, but I've been starting to promote, to some of my friends from church up here. Hey, we've got, even if they're not football fans, they've got to catch the atmosphere. So maybe I can pull that off in the next few years. But again, thanks for all you do, and I always enjoy being able to talk to you guys.
Tim, appreciate it. Thank you for the phone call. We always like to hear the compliments. And, there's just so many great student-athlete stories to be told. And, I think that's why it's important that we get the gymnastics coach on here. And Pablo Morales comes on a couple times a year on swimming. There's just so many athletes. They all put in the effort and work so hard at their craft.
They do. They put in just as much time and effort and dedication and balancing being a student-athlete and all the things that go into academics. And then there are so many of them, and we don't even have the opportunity to share all the stories about the things that they do out in the community. It's mind-blowing what all they do to give back. And so, we understand it's football, and that's what drives a lot of things, but it's also really, really important. And it's proven that the more you kind of give the coverage and allow people to have that platform, that it helps it grow the sport and grow the interest in the sports.
And this was a big week for track, obviously, Tim. I mean, with Gary Pepin, you've been the head coach of a program for 42 years and all the All-Americans and conference titles. I mean, he deserves a huge fanfare. And then today, just getting Justin to come down and with his name and elevation to the interim job. I don't know where this is going to go in the next 6-8 months, but my guess is the odds-on favorite is Justin's going to be the next head coach. But Trev's elevated him to the interim and let him kind of run the program. And in the chat room, they were asking who has more athletes, is it track or football? Pretty close. I think track's around 140. Football's kind of around that 150 level with all the walk-ons in the program. So it's really, really close.
Yeah, absolutely. And, he's a guy that probably was going to be in line for a head job at a lot of places because he is just such a well-known guy in track and has produced Olympians. And we were talking the other day, actually, we were talking to Carol Frost about how he was in the stands at the Olympics wearing a Nebraska hat, and everybody was picking it out. That was him because he had an athlete that was participating in the last Olympics. So we've heard athletes talking about how he's developed them, and so I think either way it'll be a home run hire if it's here, and he will be on a lot of people's list to try to get a head job.
402-413-2400. That's the number to dot us up with a comment or question. If you have some thoughts here on a Friday night as we make our way toward another weekend. I do want to give a Huskers salute to Ed Stewart. Ed was a terrific football player here at Nebraska, has worked in the Big 12 office for years. He took a job today. USC hired him away to oversee the USC Trojans football program. So he's going to be he's going to be in the Big Ten with Nebraska in a couple of years. But Ed's a terrific man, played for Coach Osborne, and did a great job at the Big 12. 16 years with the Big 12 offices there in Dallas in the Metroplex. But now going to head to the West Coast to be a part of the USC program. And I'm sure he and Coach Riley's paths crossed numerous times when Coach Riley was at Oklahoma in the Big 12. But Ed's a terrific man, and I know a lot of people around here still root and want to have best wishes for Ed Stewart. So big news today. That made all the big CBS Sports has a big story about Ed and ESPN, and just a wonderful man. Hard to not like Ed Stewart. He's a good guy to be a part of. So he's going to go out there and oversee and watch Lincoln Riley's program out there at USC. It's going to be interesting how Oklahoma fans will probably keep one eye on those USC games most of the year, don't you think?
Oh, yes. They're still very salty about things, even though they're think they came out on the other end, the better end of this deal, but they are still very, very salty.
I can see that. Plus, he obviously took some people with him, took some coaches, took some players, probably got some recruits that were going to go to OU that ended up going out to USC. So it's never a good feeling to have your coach leave for another school, and it doesn't happen in Oklahoma very often at all. It hasn't.
It never did.
Never has. So that's uncharted territory for them. For that. All right, 402-413-2400. We need to slip in our final break of the night. Back with everybody's winners and losers. That's next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nice jitterbug move, and it's bouncing to the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage. Scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Hey, Huskers fans. This Monday, join us on Sports Nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. as we break down another Nebraska football fall camp practice report. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Folks, Husker Athletics offering a couple of ticket plans for the upcoming football season. One's called the OU Plus 2 Mini Plan. It's a ticket to the Oklahoma game, pair of tickets to the North Dakota game, pair of tickets to the Georgia Southern game. That's for $270. And a Big Ten Mini Plan, you get tickets to all the Big Ten home games, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. That's $200 per ticket. Visit huskers.com/tickets to put your plan together. All right, back for the final segment of the week. We like to say this and name winners and losers from the week and in our wacky world that we live in. Jessica, you get to lead us off tonight. You get the bat first tonight.
So are we going, I'm doing both winners and losers? Okay. My winner is going to be the Big Ten and having the volleyball media days for the first time ever, the first conference to actually do that and to provide that platform and to continue, again, just bringing awareness and allowing for those student athletes to do it. I think they all really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. And it's just so important to keep shining light on these women's sports. And volleyball has obviously been a huge, big success for the Big Ten Network, and so for them to capitalize on that and to allow that opportunity for those volleyball student athletes, I thought it was just so awesome.
Because they don't have a tournament at the end of the year, they never get to see each other all together.
Right.
It was neat.
Yeah, it was awesome, and the first, again, just continuing to push forward and providing these same kind of opportunities, and no other Power 5 conference has done that, and so, or any conference for that matter, and so to be the first is always awesome, and hopefully they keep it going.
Kudos to them. As Kevin Suits, we had him on the other night, said they got to reconfigure the room a little bit. It wasn't very TV friendly.
Which he said that they were open and receptive to the things that they needed to change and tweak so that it would. But it sounds like they are absolutely planning on moving forward, which I think is just awesome. And again, I know that the student athletes were really appreciative of it, and the coaches. My loser is just everything, all of the debacle that's involved with Deshaun Watson and the NFL, the fans, the Browns, the media, everybody. It's just such a nightmare. And no closure at all for what we have moving forward. We still don't know. Is he going to be playing week 1? It is just a nightmare, and it's divided a lot of things and just caused a lot of drama. And I'm over this drama.
I saw a quote from the judge who said, I had to go back on some of the past suspensions for cases like this in the NFL. And she said, honestly, the NFL hadn't been very good at taking care of these cases, so I couldn't just elevate it too much. I think that's a little bit of a cop-out, but come on, this is 24 women. Come on.
It's almost like she's a little gun-shy, being that it was her first big punishment and didn't want to overdo it so that, they never went to that option again. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just such a mess, and there's no clarity at all over this week, even with the ruling. And so, it's going to continue to – I'm just over it being and dominating the headlines and everybody talking about it. I'm just ready to be over with, and so we can move on and just talk about football.
Sir Tim.
Yeah, I knew someone was going to take the Browns in the NFL and Deshaun Watson. That makes all the sense in the world. I'll start with the winner, though. Trey Mancini. We talked about him earlier in the week at the trade deadline. He got dealt.
Big night tonight.
Yep, he had a grand slam earlier. His first 3 hits as an Astro are home runs. So.
What was it he overcame? Was it
I can't remember the
leukemia?
It might have been. I thought it was leukemia. It might have been lymphoma, but I don't remember.
It's a great story.
But yes, he was the AL Comeback Player of the Year last year because he came back from cancer with Baltimore. I don't like giving Astros a lot of recognition, but this guy deserves it. I mean, he
should have won the ESPY for best comeback athlete.
That was ridiculous.
He overcame cancer.
Yes, nothing against Klay Thompson, but come on, there's a lot bigger things there than
Good for him.
just that. But so Trey Mancini, and then I'm going to stick with the NFL in my losers column pick here. Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins.
Wow, what a story, right?
And it's kind of indicative of how he's run that organization since he stepped into majority share ownership, which has been over a decade. And I feel bad for Dolphins fans. They've been looking for some success over the last, really since Marino's been there, and they haven't had it. And you get a guy who gets rid of everybody, but his general manager, he's really good friends with, Jeff Ireland, who's been there for 20 years. And then he goes and tampers with Tom Brady and loses a draft pick, gets himself suspended, embarrasses the team.
Pretty good fine, too. Was it $1.5 million or something?
$1.5 million, which, and to you guys, to your point, and the Sue Robinson point, part of, I think, what she also was mentioning or alluding to at least was the NFL doesn't really discipline its owners that much. And there's a lot of people saying, even Stephen Ross could have got more for blatantly tampering, more than even Goodell said, more than anything in NFL history as far as an owner directly tampering.
Yeah, that's another part of the narrative too, is that you can't. How is it fair that you're punishing players when you're not punishing the owners?
Correct.
That people are arguing.
Robert Kraft,
it doesn't
yeah,
make it all
similar.
right, but there are absolutely some owners that should have had way worse punishments, and they didn't. They got slaps on the wrist.
Yep.
Andrew, are you participating?
I'm participating, so I'll make it short and sweet. My winner, I have wide receiver Deontay Johnson from the Pittsburgh Steelers agreeing to a 2-year extension. $39.5 million includes $27 million guaranteed. You know I'm going to go with that. But also, for my loser, I was going to go, obviously, Deshaun Watson, but I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go the TBT tournament. I think that...
It's been pretty popular, hasn't it?
I think this year it didn't do as much of a buzz as what it did last year. On last year, first round, second rounds, they were going and they were being shown on ESPN2. They were being shown on more higher stream platforms. But this year, I didn't even get to watch one game. I was really into it last year. I watched all the games, but this year I just didn't think it brought momentum, and I didn't think it got a lot of viewerships. And the championship was already on Tuesday, and I really didn't even know about that.
All right. I mean, I saw a few of the TV numbers. They weren't bad, but it's over already. All right, my winner, I'm going to Amir Abdullah. Scored the first touchdown of the NFL season last night.
Good one.
And a new team for him. He's with the Raiders, which I don't like that. I'm not a Raiders guy at all. I liked him in Minnesota. I could kind of root for him a little bit up there. But glad that Amir is still carrying the football in the National Football League. My loser, a little bit along the lines of Jessica, but a different sport. And the whole Brittany Griner situation is just kind of disgusting. And I understand it. She probably broke her law, but give me a break. 9 years for her. This is crazy that this is going on, and I understand it. We're in a big battle with Russia right now over Ukraine and all that, so it's politics have dove into this. But my goodness, this woman's part of her life is just drifting away from her, really for not a lot of big reasons.
You're talking about a decorated athlete that's helped win gold medals and won all kinds of national championships and has been one of the best athletes in women's basketball. And it just goes to the argument, too, that a lot of women's athletes and WNBA players are saying that it wouldn't be the same issue if it was an NBA player that was in the same situation.
Maybe or maybe not. It could be a pawn. I mean, Putin's like, this is a big name. I can have a lot of fun with this and frustrate a lot of Americans on this thing. Big plans for the weekend, everybody? Hot. Gonna be hot.
Staying cool. I'm
going to try to go out to the scrimmage tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to go see Top Gun. I haven't seen it yet. And it's still in the theaters. I'm going to go pick that off. Andrew, anything big?
Nothing big. I might go back to Kansas City one last time to see some fam, but nothing too big.
All right, everybody be safe. Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Thanks, folks, for being a part of the show tonight. We're back with you on Monday, and then a practice report coming your way Monday. Eric Chinander will be here. Have a great night. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker Athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down.